What's good, everybody? Welcome to the Sooner or Later Sports Show. Me and your boy Coop. We got a special guest. This ain't his first time being here. He was here actually this time last year. We got our boy Kendel Dolby jumping in. Katie, man, how you feeling?
I'm feeling good, man. It's good to be back on here with you guys.
Hey, man, we missed you. And so I ain't gonna lie, man. We missed you. We know the football season gets crazy, and then unfortunately the injury happened, so we couldn't try to tag you then. But hey, we got you now because we want to talk about a few things. We've got winter workouts. Want to get your thoughts on that. We've got to talk about your new journey into the content creation game. You got to tell us how that's going also. And then we're going to look forward into next season. So, Coop, you want to lead the way? Let's talk about winter workouts.
Yeah, man. Back in the green room, we were talking, and you were saying, you're kind of diving into the rehab full force. So tell me kind of about what you're doing now. And I know it's an emotional journey going from being down on the field to being this close to being back. So just kind of touch on that a little bit.
Yeah, I've just been going through rehab every day. A bunch of different treatments and a lot of time that's put in behind, getting back healthy. But yeah, I've also been working out while doing it. I've been going with the team, doing workouts. Winter workouts been fun. Obviously, a lot of things is modified than what I'm used to, but this is my life right now, and I've been attacking it every day. I'm doing everything I can to get healthy. So it's been a journey, but it's building my character more than I could ever imagine.
I could totally see that, man. So tell us, you rocking a boot, or are you now freestyling, walking around like normal?
Thank God I'm out the boot, man. I'm two shoes on. Yeah. I got two shoes on because, man, that boot was the worst thing I've ever had to experience in my life. It was terrible.
I can say I bet it's uncomfortable, but it itches and all of that, huh?
Yeah, it's like it makes your hips uneven too because it's like it's bad. It's bad.
Yeah, and then every once in a while when you go to step over something and you miscalculate and the boot just drills it and you're just like, God, because that's the last thing you're looking for. For protection, but that boot, you're just kind of lugging it around. So I feel you on that one.
Too. It gets a little weight to it for sure.
Oh, yeah. Shoot. So that hip got strong then is what you're telling me. You've been doing some...
It also had to get readjusted too because I ain't gonna lie. It was so... the boot's terrible, man. I don't know.
He running around with one big leg and one smaller leg because he had to lift that thing around. That makes sense. Right. I get that.
Hey, Katie, tell me about this because, a long time ago, it gets leaked that OU and Texas are heading to the SEC, and there's anticipation around that. And a lot of the questions around were, could OU handle up, size-wise on the offensive and defensive line, and then what could that defense look like going into the SEC? So you started off just playing like a man possessed, this past year. And at what point did you look and kind of internalize you guys as the defense, or you just personally to where you're like, man, I mean, not only are we hanging in there, like we're dictating things. Like, how did that feel to be able to know that, like, go walk into the SEC, the Oklahoma Sooner defense was now part of that SEC toughness?
It felt good, to be honest, but it was also expected from us, and that's from the off season. The way that we prepared in the wintertime, in the spring, we knew it was going to be a good defense. We know we had guys who like to fly around this defense, guys who like to work hard. So, going into the SEC, being a new team in the SEC, coming from the Big 12, the disrespect is crazy. They're not ready for the SEC, the physicality. So we all took that like real life disrespect. So every time we touched that field, man, we wanted to punish people and we wanted to fly around. We wanted to show that we was an intense defense. So yeah, it was fun. And like I said, like we fully expected everything that came with the defense this year.
I can see that. So when your game against Tennessee, that was the unfortunate one where you got the injury, where you got to feel playing against an SEC squad, but you didn't get to finish it. Before the injury, where was your mind at in that game? How'd you feel playing against a team like Tennessee at home?
Well, the environment was crazy. It was college game day, so just the atmosphere was crazy, the energy behind it. And, I just had missed the week before. I missed a Tulane game with a concussion, so coming back, I was hyped. I was excited. First SEC game. Being a part of an OU team that gets to be the first team to be in the SEC was a big deal to me. So, like I said, the environment was crazy, and I was just out there, kind of like you said earlier, just feeling possessed. Man, I'm ready to go. But unfortunately, things didn't end the way I wanted it to, but getting a little taste of it, that's honestly now where I'm at in my rehab. It's something I'm looking forward to, and the reason why part of the reason why I'm going so hard to get back is so I can be a part of that and be out there with my teammates in that environment.
I love it. You're talking about the injury, and once again, you're playing 100% full tilt, and then that happens, and you find yourself, you obviously know something's wrong. What was that like, laying on the field, listening to the stands just absolutely, going batshit crazy, to all of a sudden everybody just dead silent, and it was for you, and it was for solely you. Like, hey, what were you feeling in that moment?
The emotions was honestly crazy. Like, to be honest, it really felt like a movie. Like, it felt like I was really watching myself in third person. So when it happened, my adrenaline was running. So to be honest, it sounds weird, but I didn't really feel the physical pain. At first, when I went down, I knew something was wrong because I couldn't get up. I was trying to get up, but I couldn't get up. But what really put it in perspective for me is one of the Tennessee O-linemen, he walks right past me, and he just starts screaming. He's over there cussing, screaming. So when I seen him, he was looking down at me when I seen it. So when I seen it, I looked down at my leg, and I see my ankle, going a different direction, something I've never been through before. And it hurt. The physical pain, I wasn't worried about the physical pain. In my eyes, I'm a tough guy, so I could take that. It was just the mental behind it. When I seen my ankle in that moment, I just knew what it was going to do to me mentally. And I love the game of football. I love being out there with my brothers. So when I seen my ankle looking the way it looked, it really hurt me because I knew it wasn't just a small injury. I've never been injured before, but like everybody's seen, that's not a small injury. That's not just something. So it was tough. It was tough. My heart was honestly shattered, and going through the process of surgery and just everything up until now, it's been a tough journey. I'd be lying if I said it's easy. It hasn't been easy, but it's low-key a blessing in disguise. It gave me a chance to really look back on my life and really reflect and build my relationship with God. So it's really been building my character, and I'm really thankful for that.
Yeah, that's a blessing right there. That's definitely a blessing right there. KD, I got to ask you about this, man. We talked about this in the green room and told you I was going to ask you about this. You got a sack in the Temple game, so I got two questions for you. Do you still feel like getting a sack is better than an interception like you said last year? Let's answer that question first. Are you still more excited about sacks than interceptions?
Yeah, I'm going with the sack. It's always going to be the sack just because, man, it's just when you time up the blitz and, being a DB, we don't really get to do that as much. So when you're able to do that and you're able to get to the quarterback, it just feels good. It kind of makes you feel like a 6'5" pass rusher a little bit. So
yeah.
It feels good.
That's a good point. All right, then my second question is, why'd you lose your mind when you tipped that pass and Kanai got the interception? What was going through your mind at that moment when you look back on it like, oh, wait, we did get the ball. Why did you lose your mind at that moment?
It's kind of the mentality I had. I felt like I left food on the dinner table. And what I mean by that is I wanted that pick so bad. I wanted to pick that ball off. Like, I was happy. So when I tipped the ball, I thought it was just an incompletion. I didn't know that Kanai was behind me and picked it off. So in the moment, I was mad. It's an incomplete pass, and I'm like, man, I don't want a PBU. Like, I want a pick. So that's why I lost my mind, because I did want that pick. But then when I heard the crowd going wild, and I seen Kanai with the ball in his hands, and I realized, okay, it was a PBU INT. So that made me feel a lot better. I went to Kanai, let him know I was happy for him, but that's why I lost my mind. I wanted that money, man.
When you went to the sideline, did Hall or anybody or Valai come over to you and be like, hey, man, play through the ball, like, don't lose it? Or were they just celebrating and congratulations to Kanai?
They were congratulating Kanai, but everybody was literally asking, why was you losing your mind? Did you know it was a pick? Everybody was like, bro, you look crazy. I'm like, oh. And then when I seen the replay and everybody told me what happened, I was like, oh, yeah. I look back at the video, I'm like, man, I'm kind of mad I did that. I ain't gonna lie, but it was just a real reaction. So,
yeah. It's kind of like how you just that initial reaction. You kind of had the knee jerk moment of, dang it, man, this was my pick. I had the block, could have just probably grabbed it. You just look at me like, oh wait, we good. Oh, okay. All right, then I guess we can take that. Cool. That's funny because I still that play, and as I mentioned in the green room, That play and the Des Malone one still my favorite 2 plays of the year, because you lose your mind over here, and then Des Malone perfectly catches Kip Lewis's spike and just chunks it into the stands. I'm like, that should have been a flag, but with all the lights and everything going on from the touchdown, it made sense that they did not see it. So we're chopping it up here with Kendel Dolby, DB, Cheetah. So you're still kind of a nickel / cheater, right? Is that still the role that they're still trying to make sure you're playing next season?
Yes, sir. Yeah, they want to keep me in that role. They want me to be around the ball. They feel like, my skill set to fly around the ball. But they also do want me to, if needed, they trust my skill set to go play outside corner if I need to. So just being a Swiss Army knife, man, it makes me feel good that my team trusted me to be able to, go make a play and line up on the best player that they got and compete at a high level.
Okay,
I'm for that. I mean, obviously, like, one of the biggest things that allowed you to move over to the cheetah role was the pure combination between, like, the ball skills and the coverage skills, and then your willingness to get in there and put your nose in the middle of a lot of the traffic. And man, I'm just gonna say, you look like it looks different when you blitz. It looks different from just anybody. I mean, Sammy O does his own thing. Deshaun when he was back out there, even Deshaun White. But I harken back to old school days, like, when I see you blitz. There was a defensive back named Brandon Shelby, and I don't know if you've ever got a chance to meet him, but, like, go back and watch some of his clips, talk to BV about that, because that's who you remind me of. Brandon Shelby, when he came to blitz, he just had it. He just knew that lane. He knew where things were going to open up, and it looks like you, because there's times where I'll watch the tackles kick out, and you'll wait until that tackle kicks out, and then you just hit that gap. And so, I mean, just seeing you blitz, I'm down for the sack. I love the interceptions, but I like watching you sack the quarterback. That's probably one of my favorite.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
All right, do you have a celebration you're going to start doing when you get sacks for like this season? Do you have like a particular thing?
I do got a celebration. I've been practicing in my room.
All right.
I do got a celebration. So
I love it.
I'm going to bring it out when game day comes.
I like it.
I love
24, you follow up a year in which 23, you basically cleaned house with the, with all the interior team trophies, as far as like the grit and the strain and all those awards that you got. Now you're in a new spot, because now you're an old head. You're a vet of the team. Have you seen how's your role changed from being just a guy that, people are pouring into, to you working with some of these younger kids that were now starting to come in and come up?
Honestly, just that right there. Like, when I first came in, it was kind of the older guys. I mean, I came in out of JUCO, so I guess I was technically an older guy. But the guys who've been there, like Billy and Danny, they were all teaching guys like me the way. And now, that I've been here and I know how everything goes, I'm teaching younger guys. So my role's changed a lot. Those younger guys are looking up to me. And it honestly feels good, because, going through what I've been through, whether it's JUCO to the injury, it's just I've been through so much. And like I've said, guys really has tested my character, and I'm able to shed my light on the younger guys and give advice in a big way, and they buy into it. So, yeah, my role's changed a lot. I've just been more of a vocal guy. And, last year being injured, being on the sideline, it was weird, because, I'm on the sideline, I'm out there on the field. So my role also had to change on, motivating my guys, keeping my guys into the game from the sideline. So, yeah, my role's changed a lot. Definitely, in a way better leader role for sure.
Yeah, I can see that. And you put up a lot of snaps. You played a lot. Temple, Houston. You had the concussion that kept you out of the Tulane game. You got to come back against Tennessee. But now that we turned the calendar over to 2025, and we're in winter workouts, and as you're going through and watching it, let's talk about some of the players that you got to observe at winter workouts. How you feeling about some? First off, how you feeling about the freshmen that have come in to the squad so far?
The freshmen, they're a hungry class, to be honest. A lot of those guys are bought in fast and quick. So, yeah, I think they're a really good class. They have a lot of guys in that class that want to play, and they're coming in with a mindset. I don't want to be a freshman. That's what Coach V says all the time. Like, you're a freshman, but you don't have to be a freshman. So a lot of them guys are hungry. A lot of them guys work very hard, and I'm excited to see what guys from that class emerge, because I think there's going to be a lot of them that do really soon.
I like it. The sticking with that film sessions. Obviously, you're going to do a lot of mental reps when you're going through all of this. Do you feel like the time off allowed you to get in a better place mentally and understand the game a little bit more, something that you can use to your advantage once you're physically healthy? Or do you think that you had the films portion of it down pretty pat?
I would say I had what I thought is I had the film portion of it down, when I was out there playing, but being on the sideline actually gives you a way different view of things. You're really able to sit there and read out different things that you might miss when you're in the game because, in the game, everything's going so fast. So I think definitely, kind of having a year off to just sit back and learn mentally is going to help my game tremendously. I've seen different looks and there's times when I wasn't at the game, so I was watching on TV. And, when you're watching it from the TV, you're able to see at a different angle, everything. You can see everything at that point. So I definitely say it's helped build my mental side of the game a lot more.
Oh, yeah, I can definitely see that. So we asked you this last year, and it's had a little controversy that went down from it. And do you still feel like you're still the hardest hitter on the defensive side of the ball?
Hey, I fully give that title to Michael Boganowski. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Hey,
so Baba Yaga, we call him Baba Yaga, the boogeyman. That's what his dad always says. So you're saying that Baba Yaga is still the hardest hitter. It's now the hardest hitter on the team.
Yeah, oh yeah, most definitely. Hey, the hits I done seen him make, I definitely gave it to him real quick. I'm like, okay, you got it, Mike. I'm gonna give it to you.
You got it,
Yeah, now he loves to hit though. He's a big dude, big physical guy, and I tell him all the time, bro, like, do you close your eyes when you hit? Because you hit so hard. So yeah, he definitely got that title.
Okay, we got to pass it over to Baba Yaga. Didn't expect it, but hey, don't give it to him.
That's pretty funny. Hey, the new podcast. Tell me a little bit about the new podcast because, obviously I saw that pop up and I was like, oh, I'm going to be watching this. And so you had Kip come in. How long have you been wanting to do that? Is that something that's fairly new or is it something you've kind of had brewing for a while?
Kind of a little bit of both. I always wanted to, after my football career is over, I've always wanted to get into like sports broadcasting and staying around the sport and stuff like that. I love learning people's story. I love telling people my story. So it's always been something I wanted to do was to get into like media and the media side of things. But last season I was like, man, I'm just going to focus on football, get to the league and start that up when I get in the league. Well, obviously the injury happened and like I said, it just gave me a time to reflect. And I feel like God really put it on my heart to, man, this is your time now to show people and show people behind the scenes of your life and what it takes. So, yeah, I just like, man, I'm going to start a YouTube channel and I want to do podcast segments on there. I'm going to be doing game day vlogs, workout vlogs, and just really, like I said, showing the fans and younger kids just what it takes to be a Division I athlete and what it takes to grind and how to persevere when it comes to having setbacks. So I feel like God, man, put me in a position to be able to do that and spread my story. So I'm going to make sure I do that the best way I can.
Let's be honest. You came on with us and you saw me and you're like, man, anybody can do it. Like if that guy's doing it, anybody can do it, right?
You guys inspired me for sure.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm glad to hear that part. Well, speaking of your story, we're talking to Kendel Dolby here from University of Oklahoma, number 15, the Cheetah DB that likes to get sacks more than interceptions. KD, just talk about your story. I mean, you went from Ohio, played JUCO ball at NEO, and now you ended up at Oklahoma. How did that storyline happen for you? Let's go back to the roots of Kendel Dolby and tell his story here as well.
So just coming out of high school, going JUCO, it was a journey in itself. Never in a million years would I think a kid from Ohio was going to end up in Oklahoma. And people out here in Oklahoma make sure to remind me that all the time, like, you're from Ohio. What are you doing out here? So, but yeah, it's been a blessing though. Going JUCO, met a lot of cool people. Like also that was something that also built my character up. So going from JUCO to transition to the D1 level was also a big transition, and it's been something I've been so grateful for. It's just changed my perspective on everything. It's given me a vision of gratefulness and being appreciative of everything that I've earned, and I've just grinded. And it kind of goes into the injury. Being injured now, it's like, man, I done made it from JUCO. I done grinded. I done came from hard times and persevere every time. So now that I'm injured, it's like having that in the back of my mind, like you done made it out of the hardest things. Like this is nothing. So it's been, man, it's all been a test of character, and I've just been thankful for this journey. You know, in the moment, it's tough to really be like, man, I'm thankful for this, but it's one of those things when it's all said and done, you're gonna be like, man, I'm thankful for that, because I do it all the time with JUCO. When I was in JUCO, I was mad I was in JUCO, but now I look back and I was like, okay, yeah, I needed that.
Opportunity to grow. That was your, like, say, God getting you on that proper path to he can build the best version of you and let you learn on that path and that trail that you needed to go down, which
exactly,
I can definitely understand that. That totally makes sense. Coop.
Yeah, I mean, when you were kind of getting this podcast together, were you doing research, looking to kind of see how you wanted that to flow, and then did you get inspiration from anywhere specific, or is it just like, hey man, I'm going to hit play and then just let my spirit run?
I kind of looked around and just seen different videos and stuff like that, just to see the setup of everything. I have a cameraman that was when I spoke on. I posted on my Instagram that I was gonna start it up, and I had a bunch of different cameramen who reached out to me saying that they wanted to work with me. So my cameraman, he was telling me, this is what we need to do. This is the setup that we can have. So as far as the conversations and just everything like that, it was just something I wanted to flow. Because to be honest, when I did the podcast, Kip came on, and Kip's comfort word is like, and he kept saying I like so much, and it started rubbing off on me. I was over there, I'm saying I like a lot. So at first I wasn't gonna post the video because I'm like, man, we said like Kip, let's redo it, like let's do another take or whatever. But then when I really sat there and thought about it, I was like, man, that's as bad as I want to redo the video. That was a genuine conversation that was going on. Like, I don't want to go back and redo the video because then everything's gonna sound scripted. So now. Just posting that video and just showing a genuine conversation. That's really what I've been on. It's been something that it's just been flowing off my mind, to be honest.
That makes sense. So for you, your goal is to do some interviews with your teammates and around sports to really like get those stories out, correct?
Yeah, I'm gonna do my teammates. My goal is to also go to other sports too, gymnastics, basketball. Yeah, I want to do everybody. I want to learn. Everybody got a story to tell, and I want to learn people's story. Like I said, I love learning about people's story, and I love spreading my story. So right now the focus is get a couple football guys on there, and then I definitely to move to other sports for sure.
I like that. I like that a lot. Expectations for this year. Obviously, the defense shows out, balls out, and that you could have been even better. You guys left some food on the table, as you made a comment earlier. What's your outlook for 2025? I think a lot of people are wondering, hey, was that just a 1-year glitch? Or was it? Is this who we are now? But what do you think about this team for 2025? And do you have any personal goals yet?
I think the team this year, our goals is to win a conference championship. The goals never change when you go to a school like OU. So I feel like this year we have the team to do it. To be honest, I thought last year we had the team to do it, but unfortunately, a lot of things happened, unfortunately, and a lot of younger guys had to step up. So this year, I just think having the experience is going to be a big thing. I think we're going to be a really good team. It takes time to build that chemistry. Obviously, the defensive side of the ball, we didn't really lose too many guys, so we have that chemistry. The offensive side is going to take a little bit of time, but those guys are doing a good job. John, the receivers, Dion, all them guys, they've been doing a good job of bonding and getting to know each other. So I definitely think that this team can make a run for sure. But my personal goals is I want to be first team SEC, first team All-American. And I literally got it written on my mirrors to go win the Thorpe. And I know to some people it sounds crazy, this guy's come off an injury, this and that. But in my head, like, it's just, like I said, going through this made me so much more hungry, and just sitting down and reflecting. It's like I just got a different monster in me that's ready to come out. So, man, when I get back healthy, I'm coming for it all. Like, that's really my mindset. That's genuine words. That's not just something I'm saying. That's really how I feel. I'm coming for it all. I'm winning every award, and man, a lot of people got to see me.
I love it.
I'm glad to push for the award season is always something big, and definitely having high expectations and ambitions is always critical to being successful. You also got to have a little bit of a narcissism and delusion when you're playing football. You got to feel like I'm better than that dude.
Yeah.
Even if you're like, man, that dude's really good.
Right.
But I'm definitely better than him. So I'm totally here for it, and we definitely will be cheering for you to get as many awards as possible. So on that note, as we talk about good players and everything, let's look back at the winter workouts at some of the young guys who's in your room. Who do you feel like is a player that Sooner fans need to know about going into fall practice into the season?
Yeah, there's a lot of those guys. Michael Fasusi, he's one that always pops on the back of my head every time. He grinds hard, big dude. He's humongous. I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, big dude. Malik Hawkins, he's a baller. He has a certain type of attitude to him that you need. He just goes out there and competes. And it's funny because when he gets to go against his brother, he makes sure to talk so much to Mike. It's funny. So, Cortland Guillory, he's gonna be a baller too. Just he's in the DB room, so I'm really able to get to know these guys and see them work and see their progression. He's gonna be a baller. Elijah Thomas on the offensive side receiver, man, he's gonna be a baller. A lot of those guys. There's a lot of those guys. I feel like there's gonna be some where when fall camp comes around, because it's like a process thing. There's your guys who it starts clicking to in spring, and then there's those guys who once summertime's hit, it clicks for them fully. So I expect a lot of guys in that class to make a name and definitely get some click this year.
Oh, that's what's up. Who's following underneath your wing? Who's the one that you're mentoring the most?
Malik
or do you
Hawkins.
catch yourself? Hawkins? Okay.
Yeah, Hawkins. Yeah. They got him. He's been moving around a lot, so he's been practicing a little bit of cheetah too. So yeah. He's kind of he makes sure to ask me questions all the time, and I love working with him. He's a humble kid, and he kind of reminds me as far as I like to trash talk. I like to fly around. So when I see him do it, it makes me feel good. So yeah, that's probably one of the guys I would say right now.
Ooh.
You obviously haven't gotten a chance to go out and do any one-on-one reps, but so I'm going to go back to last year. Who was the guy that when you lined up in practice that, when he came across you and you got that responsibility, let's say in pass coverage first, that you were just like, man, this is just a tough cover?
Hold on, you kind of glitched out on that last part. I apologize. Would you say the last part?
No, it's okay. Who is a receiver or tight end or whoever that you were matched up against last year when you're going against practice? You're just like, you guys just had good battles, epic battles. It seems like, it was just a tough cover, or for you, maybe you got a win here and there and he got a win here or there.
Deion Burks. Me and Deion used to go at it all the time. All the time. It used to be so bad in practice. We're talking, he's making a play on me, getting up, talking trash. I'll make a play on him and I'm getting up, talking trash. And man, he's a baller, and going against him, honestly, it brings the best. You bring the best out of each other. It's one of those things we would say the most craziest things to each other on the field, and then we would get off the field and we're dapping each other up, like, man, I love you, brother. Good work. So yeah, that's the one I would always say, like, man, we used to go at it.
That's what I'm talking about. Okay, so now I gotta ask. It appears there's a night and day situation on the offensive side of the ball. Last year, the offense just couldn't get itself going, and it ended up being one of the worst offenses in Oklahoma in 20 years. But you bring in a quarterback in John Mateer with an offensive coordinator of Ben Arbuckle. What's it been like having John Mateer there at the practice? What have you observed with the offense comparing from last year to this year?
The thing I'll say about John is if you looked up the definition of a quarterback in the dictionary, John's picture would pop up. And what I mean, what I would mean by that is he's a leader, and he just takes control of the room, and he demands, people's respect. And as a quarterback, you got to have that. You're literally, the whole team runs through you. So just his attitude, he's a feisty dude. Like he gets up talking trash to the defensive side, and we haven't seen that in a long time. Like he's a guy who you can tell, like he feels like he has a chip on his shoulder, and he feels like he got something to prove. So he goes out there and works really hard every day. And I feel like that's a big difference right there. He's a full-on leader, and he hasn't even been here that long. And then having Coach Arbuckle too to coach the offense. Obviously, they got that chemistry coming from Washington State together. They're in a new spot, but they're coaching the people who've been here because they've been running this offense. You know what I'm saying? So they're getting everybody on board right now and getting them adapted to the system that they run. And Coach Arbuckle, he's a cool coach. He's a young guy, so man, he loves to crack jokes, and not just with the offensive guys either. He's talking to the defensive guys, and I haven't even been practicing, and he's over there talking to me, getting to know me a little bit more. So he's a great coach, and just what you call or the aura of the team or the offensive side is a big difference. I will say that.
I like hearing that. We definitely
That's
want to
exciting.
hear that there's a change in the aura of this. Oh, because again, with how good the defense was, the defense efficiency, the team finished number 10 in the nation on ESPN's efficiency rating. So that's pretty darn high when you don't really have an offense there to really help. You bring this offense from the hundreds to the 50s, there's a good chance y'all can produce a top 5 defense in the country and definitely one of the best ones in the SEC. So, we're rooting for a good, competent offense that can just keep the ball moving, keep y'all off the field just for a little bit. Or when y'all get turnovers, go and get touchdowns. You know what I'm saying?
I
We
agree.
keep that going. I think it'd be good. I got one more though. The transfers. We brought in some new players. We got another Kendel. We got Daniels instead of Dolby. I've been hearing that the man's a giant. So tell me about the other KD on defense. What do you think about him, and how do you think he plays in the defensive system so far? No trade secrets, just more so how do you think he fits?
Right. He is a big dude. I will say that. Ginormous. Slow guy. I think he's like, I don't know his exact weight, but he's definitely up there. He's definitely not no small guy, but his transition's been good. He's an Oklahoma guy, so him coming in, man, he fits in really well. I've been getting to know him. He's been getting to know a lot of guys, and we have fun in the locker room. Like I said, getting to know each other, but he's been fitting in really well. You can tell he's one of those guys, Coach Venable's defense takes a lot of repetition and a lot of studying to be able to get down, but you can see his want to learn this defense and his want to get it down. So he's working hard every day. Workouts, I see him in workouts, practice. He's doing everything that it takes to thrive in this defense and thrive on this team. So he's taking all the right steps to be a contributor on this team. I think he's going to be really good.
That ain't bad. But you're gonna reserve the KD name for yourself, right? Like you're gonna tell.
Have y'all fought over that yet? Have y'all decided who deserves that name yet?
To be honest, that's the thing. Teammates like to instigate, so they're always
Yep.
Who's a real KD? Who's a real KD? But everybody's like, man, we know who the real KD is. But I don't really trip too much. You know what I'm saying? I don't really trip about it too much. But everybody tends to call me KD. They kind of call him K5. Some people call him KD, and I'm perfectly fine with that. That's what you've been called your whole life, and hey, I'm gonna let that slide. But how I say all the time, like everybody knows KD. So
that's true. Yeah. So we're gonna go with K5 for him, and we're gonna let you keep the KD name. But I like K5. That's actually a pretty interesting thought. Didn't think about it that way.
It's a good alternative.
Yeah.
But hey, last year obviously you weren't able to go on the road to a lot of these new places to play. So you can answer this one of two ways. Like, is there a team or is there a trip that you're really, really excited to make this year? Going to a couple new stadiums, new opportunities. And you can say Texas if you want, but who are you really wanting to, get out there and compete with this year?
Definitely number one would be Tennessee. You playing at Neyland, you hear the stories about Neyland. The atmosphere, man, the atmosphere, just if you hear all the rumors and the stories and you even see the proof of the atmosphere, it looks crazy. And it's going to be a game that means a lot because everybody knows that's the game I went down. So that game's going to mean a lot to me. I can't wait. I can't wait to go check Neyland out. I'm excited for South Carolina. Texas is always fun, getting to go to the Cotton Bowl. That's a fun game. But then the most underrated one I definitely say when we play Temple, and that's just because they play in the Eagle Stadium. So getting to play
financial,
So getting to play in the NFL stadium, that's gonna be fun. Just playing where a lot of us are planning on going is gonna be a surreal moment. So I'm excited for all those games, though.
I didn't think about the Lincoln Financial piece and playing at the NFL stadium. That's a very good point. You can see the locker rooms and stuff. So get a taste before you head over to the draft and everything. So I know you are definitely stoked about that portion of it being your last year. Unfortunately, I wish we could have you for like another 1 or 2 years, but I do want you to go to the next level and make big things happen. What message do you have for Sooner Nation as we prepare going through the spring, going into the fall, into next season? What message do you have for them? Words of encouragement? Do you want to remind them to keep patient? Whatever. Give them the final message of the day.
The message I would give is, man, just to stay positive with it. And what I mean by that is, it takes time for things to develop. It takes time for things to grow. You got to start off low to get high. So there's a lot of growing pains that came with last season. I know, going through the season, it sucks losing games. But now that we're on the other end of it, everybody, and I'm sure even the fans can even say, like, man, we're glad that so-and-so had to step up and take earlier reps now. So now when he comes back this year, he's going to be ready. So I just think, just like I said, growing pains is not always a bad thing. It's really not. And I know a lot of time, as human beings, we think it is. And that's one of the things I thought going through this journey is it's a growing pain. And I'm going to come out the other side of it stronger. So I feel like that's the same thing for this football team and Sooner Nation. Man, we're going the season we had, we're ready to grow off of it and come out of it stronger. And I think we really will this year. So I would just say be patient, man. We do this for y'all. We do this for Sooner Nation, and we want to win games, and we really feel like we can this year. It's going to take time, man. So just stick with us for sure.
I like that message. That's a good message.
I love it. I love it. Hey, we've got Kendel Dolby here, Cheetah Corner, the real KD.
Yes,
pulled
sir.
up to join us, man. I appreciate you coming back again. And I'm so glad to hear that you're out of the boot, that winter workouts are going great for you. We are just going to be hoping and praying that Illinois State, we see you running out of the tunnel.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm looking forward to it. I'm doing everything I can to make sure that happens.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about. Down in the description below, you'll see a link to Kendel's YouTube channel, so you can go check them out. Check out the interview with Kip Lewis. Go get subscribed. Do all the likes and all of that stuff. And when's the next video coming out?
Probably be 2 weeks. We're on spring break right now, so I'm gonna wait for everybody to get back, kind of get acclimated to coming back and stuff like that. I'm not gonna really rush nobody into it, but I would say that should be the next time. Something should be coming out.
You got a surprise person who it is, or are you gonna keep that a secret?
I'm gonna keep that a secret.
Okay, all right.
It's gonna be good though. I like to ask the fans and see who they want to get on. So I kind of just look around and see what I'm seeing the most, and whoever the fans want to see, I make sure to go get them. So.
Yeah. Hey, and fans, let us know down here in the comments here if you're watching this video and there's somebody you want KD to bring up and chop it up with. Let him know in the chat, and also hit him up on the Twitters, because I know that you're got football to do, but still this is it seems like a natural for you with this podcast thing. So I wish you the best with it.
I appreciate that. It honestly means a lot.